Hello, welcome to another edition of Club Shay Shay. I am your host, also the proprietor of Club Shay Shay, and the guy that's coming by for a drink and conversation today. Wow, he's a big one. He's a rapper, songwriter, record executive, a mogul, entrepreneur. He's been in the game over 30 years. Mr. Sprinkle Me, the Bay Area's finest, and you can't mention the rap game without mentioning his name. 40 Water, Mr. E-40.
All my life, been grinding all my life. Sacrifice, hustle paid the price. Want a slice, got to roll the dice, that's why. All my life, I've been grinding all my life. Look, all my life, been grinding all my life. Sacrifice, hustle paid the price. Want a slice, got to roll the dice, that's why. All my life, I've been grinding all my life.
E-40, what's up?
What's up, family? How you doing, buddy?
Man, I'm good, man. Thanks for stopping by today, man. I really appreciate it.
Thank you. Thank you for having me.
Man, but before we get started, we've been dealing with this pandemic for like the last 16 months. Club Shay Shay had a hard time getting this reserve in, but I reached out to my good friend, E-40, and I got some of this. This is some of this Tycoon Cognac.
Hello, Tycoon Cognac right here, man.
Yeah. I know you got a lot of spirits. You got Tycoon, you got Earl Stevens wine, you got the E-40 Slurricane, you got the tequila. Bruh, you got a lot of irons in the fire. Talk to me about it.
I started off selling wine online, and everybody knows it's natural like an afro for me to speak about dope beverages because all my career from 1988 on up, you know what I'm saying? That's all I talk about. I used to talk about a lot of wine, you know what I'm saying? I always talk about cognac and stuff like that and everything. But anyway, to make a long story short, I had an opportunity to sell wine online because I'm right next door to Napa, California.
Right.
Where, that's wine country. I'm
right.
from Vallejo. We same area code. I can stick my arm out there, and now I'm in Napa. You know what I mean?
Right.
That's how close we are. So I actually started selling Earl Stevens wine online. I didn't want to call it E-40. I know other drink. I just wanted to call it my real name, Earl Stevens, and give them that. And I wanted to make it when if somebody seen it, and they wouldn't know that's me. But those
right.
who do know my real name is Earl Stevens would know it's me. You feel me?
Right.
And I wanted to do that like on a speak easy type of note. You know what I mean? Like just like the whisper circuit, like, this E-40 stuff.
Right.
You know what I mean? So a lot of people right now don't even know Earl Stevens is me. They don't even know that's my wine. The Mango Scotto going crazy, 18% alcohol, 36
right.
proof. But anyway, I was selling wine online, and then I ended up selling, going to a distributor called Southern Glazed Wine and Spirits. They tasted it. They was like, okay, we in. I sold a few cases to a few retail stores. Next thing you know, I sold 56 cases to a store in Vallejo called Food for Less. From Food for Less, that was a whole pallet. Next thing you know, it was a truckload. Then Southern Glazed Wine and Spirits picked up a truckload, delivered it to all the on-premise and off-premise, general market, all over the chain stores, all that. And it just went, and it took off from there. And that was 2014.
Let me ask you a question. Mm-hmm. What's the difference between Earl Stevens products and E-40 products?
Okay. E-40 products is more or less like the Earl Stevens products is kind of like ultra premium, like super premium. You know what I'm saying? The E-40 products is like premixed cocktail drinks, ready to drink premixed cocktail drinks like the Slurricane, E-40 Slurricane, right. Hurricane, Blue Lagoon, E-40 Slurricane, Sweet Tea, E-40 Slurricane, Hurricane, which I got from New Orleans, right. And E-40 Slurricane, Yellowbird, which I got from the Bahamas.
I think you sell pots and pans. I see you on social media. You be cooking. You call yourself the goon with a spoon. What got you into cooking, and do you like cooking?
Well, I love cooking, man. Being the oldest of four, I had to make a way out of no way. My mom and pops, they divorced when I was 8.5, but my dad always stayed in our life. You know what I'm saying? And he stayed there and paid child support, but for the majority of the situation, I was the man of the house, when we moved to a whole nother side of town, and my mom had to work 2 and 3 jobs, and I had to, I was the oldest, so I had to be a father figure to my siblings, right. What I mean? And so, two brothers that was in that house and my sister Sugar T. So, you know what I'm saying? So we was raised, I was self-taught kind of, and then I also worked at a restaurant in Benicia, California called the Common House Restaurants, which I think way back then was pretty much a Michelin star restaurant because all the rich people used to go there. And I started off selling, washing dishes, you know what I'm saying, as a teenager in there. And then I worked my way up real quick. I started washing dishes, then working in the pantry, making making what you call that stuff? Oh my God, calamari and all that stuff, calamari. And then I started learning how to cook chicken cordon bleu. You know, when I went to the kitchen, cook chicken cordon bleu, escargot, London broil, orange roughy fish, like, you know, with almonds and pan fried, you know what I'm saying, with and mussels with wine, salt, lemon.
So in other words, you just picked up this by just watching the chefs and the other cooks cook, because you're not really trained. You didn't go to school to be a chef or to be a cook. You just watch other people do it, and you like picked it up like, hell, I can do that.
Yeah, definitely, most definitely, and that's how it happened, you know. And when my mother-in-law bought me in 2014, she bought me a power pressure cooker. I'm like, I used to always hear, you know, see grandmama and them, all the grandmamas, they have power pressure cooker, but they had the old-fashioned kind of put on the stove. The kind is kind of dangerous, right?
Yes.
You got to know how to really work them things. But these, when they came with the electric ones, I was like, oh, this is easy. And so I started learning that. Then I started just cooking everything in there. Then I just started doing I've been knowing how to cook. So then I started working my pots and pans game, you know, my oven game, you know what I'm saying? So I became the goon with the spoon, which, you know, that's a street word. My cousin B Legit made that up. You know what I'm saying? He said he came with the goon with the spoon. You smell me? And I just turned it into you know, we both say it in our lyrics. That's what we do. We share a gang because we from the same thing, and you know, we pick up things from each other. And I didn't know it was gonna become this big, so it became real big. So I was like, I had my boy Cousin Feek have his guy make me a logo, and he made that, and it was the goon with the spoon, and we just took it there. Cousin Feek love you too, man. I meant to tell you, that's the guy I was telling you about earlier.
Right. Master P, I talked to him the other day, and he was talking about you and him go back all these years, and he had mad respect for you. He said, that's my brother. And he was telling me how he hooked you up with the noodles. And he was like, man, he's like, hey, we eat noodles. So let's go ahead and put our iron in the fire, and let's see what we can get cooking with this. Because I think sometimes, 40, is that they're always looking to invent something that's never been invented, as opposed to there's something that's already there. How about we improve on that and sell that to our communities?
That's right. Why not? You know, now Black-owned businesses is in full effect. You know, P always had that state of mind. I did as well, and we learned that early, and that we learned that in music. We was independent, me and him. We come up under my Uncle St. Charles. You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
So you know, he came, like, they had Rap Snacks years ago, and they brought it back out, him and James, you know, and then it went to noodles, and then now it's cereal and all. They doing their thing, you feel me? Right. And on my end, I'm doing my thing, you know, with the adult beverages, and also got the Goon with the Spoon products coming very soon as well. And we all talk, and it's all love. It's teamwork make the dream work, you know. And P had a choice, you know. James got at me and said, P wants you on these noodles, man, the Icon noodles, you know, and that's an honor and a pleasure, you know, because, you know, P don't just pick anybody, you know. P is a solid dude, man. So he ain't just gonna so, you know, that show automatically how much love he got for me. And we breaking bread, you know what I'm saying? That's how we do it. So we trying to preach Black-owned, you know, entrepreneurship, you know what I'm saying? Just, you know, being the vendor of record, you know. The vendor of record is very important, you know. So that's what I am with adult beverages, 100% owner of everything that I do, you know. And it don't have to be 100% owner. You can have business partners. I got a business partner in the Lumpia company, which I own a restaurant, a Filipino restaurant. His name is Alex Rototo, Chef Alex, Lumpia chef. You know what I'm saying? So, you know, when you team up like that, maybe one day we'll do a Goon with the Spoon / Rap Snacks, you know, brand or something. You never know, you know, vice versa. So it's all about, you know, you scratch my back, I scratch yours, bro. Let's go. Teamwork make the dream work. Let's do this, man.
You being from the Bay Area, how much did being from the Bay and knowing they have Silicon Valley and knowing that you're right next to Napa, how did that weigh on you? Like, because you've invested in startups, you have these spirits, you have the wine. How heavily did that influence you being so close? You're like, man, I'm right here. I might as well take advantage of this.
Man, you know, just being a good dude, you know, I treat people like I want to be treated, you know.
Correct.
And what I want for myself, I want for others. I'm a congratulator, not a hater. You know what I'm saying? Because I know, let me tell you something. If you hate on somebody, you ain't gonna have no good luck. That stuff gonna come right back on you. You know what I'm saying? And it ain't in my blood. Like I want, and especially when I know our people come from the mud, we come from the grit, we come from the motherfucking octagon. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
and I want to see us all win because there's enough money out there for everybody. You know, so being right there, Vallejo, Napa, being in between, Vallejo got the best of all worlds of the Bay Area. We got our own thing. We drink that. We from that Mare Island water. Special people come from Vallejo. Something about that Mare Island water. I'm trying to tell you some real stuff, and that's Bay Area water too. Right. You could catch the ferry from Vallejo, straight direct, a straight shot to San Francisco. Same water. We share the same water, but that Mare Island water, that little surrounding, that water is something special. So we got the best of all worlds. You know, having relatives in certain cities and all that stuff, and just being creative. We all locked in. Now I'll tell you what. Silicon Valley. Shout out to my man Chameleonaire. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. You know, Chameleonaire. My cousin Tyson got at me, and he was like, you know, Chameleonaire doing these startup companies. You know, you might want to holler at him. At that time, you know, this is like 2012, 2013. Right. You know, I didn't really know too much about it. And I was like, I knew about it, but I didn't. Like, I was like, how you do it? So I kind of, by that time, Chameleonaire had hit a few times. He had, it was a couple of companies he got in the early stage startups that you know, got acquired and got an IPO. So by the time I got in, it's like 2016. So I end up now, it's 2021 now. I'm between 45 and depending on the next month, between 45 and 48 startup companies deep that I'm in, early stage startups. A lot of people don't know I'm an early stage investor in Clubhouse, one of the hottest things out right now. Right. You know what I mean? That thing evaluated at $1 billion within months. And it looked like it's going to be $5 billion at the end of the summer. So, you know, I ended up getting my feet wet in startup companies as well. Shout out to Chameleonaire. You might see us at the basketball games, courtside, hanging out. Right. That's been my friend for many years. You know what I'm saying?
Let me ask you this. Go back to your culinary skills. What's your favorite thing to cook?
My favorite thing to cook is maybe fried rice, chicken and shrimp fried rice. You know what I'm saying? I would say oxtails.
Yeah, I love some oxtail, but you can't find them. We can't find them right here in Southern California. You go to all the stores, they're out.
You serious? Because there's a lot of cats from Southern California got that Southern in.
Yeah, you know what's up.
Hey, check this out. I had to crave it because, you know, my daddy from Mississippi. Okay. My grandmom and granddaddy and them, they all from Louisiana. Okay. So I got that, you know, I'm from that shoot. You know that I'm from the shoot. I ain't studying you. I'm from that era. I'm a Vallejo South dude. You know what I'm saying? I went to Grambling State University in Louisiana. Okay. Like it's in me. So you know, my grandmama on my daddy's side, straight from Mississippi. Her name, R.I.P. Grandmama Rebecca. She used to come. I go over there. She over there making hog head cheese with the eyelashes, eyeballs, everything in it. With hella hot sauce.
Well, you know what that hog head cheese, you really down south, because there ain't a whole lot of people know about hog head cheese.
Come on. Let me tell you about my grandmama on my mama's side. She raised 11 kids, her and my granddad. They firstborn people. My granddad was a preacher for 60 years. R.I.P. to Mother Thurman and Granddaddy Thurman. You know what I'm saying? And one day I go over there to Millersville in the 1800 block, and I holler, I go holler at grandma just to go visit them. She say, grandson, go on over there to Lucky's for me and go pick up me some chicken feet. I say, what, grandmama? Yeah, some chicken feet. Just ask the butcher. Just say you're here for Mother Thurman. And I was like, okay, I'll do it for you, grandmama. And so I went over there. I said, hey, I'm here to pick up some chicken feet from my grandma. Oh, Mother Thurman, okay, no problem. Dude had it all packaged up, ready to go and everything. I brought it to grandmama. Grandmama had already had the cast iron skillet with the grease already warming up, because it's right across the street. You know what I'm saying? Already warming up, all that good shit. Man, she had her little seasoning in the bag already ready. Man, she washed them off, cut the feet, you know, little pieces.
Get the toenails out. Get the toenails off.
Took the toenails off. You know it, right? Man, she shook them things up, put them things in there, fried them up, and she got to eating them things. It looked kind of like different, but I was tempted to do it, but I was kind of younger. I was like 19. You know what I'm saying?
You're like, nah, I'm gonna hold off.
I'm gonna hold off. But as I travel, you know, when we on the road, we stopping at Flying J's and we stopping at Walmart. We going through the South, Midwest, this and that third. We going to Publix and all these places. We seeing more and more chicken feet. I say, man, I tell all my folks, I say, this is my grandmama had me get, y'all. See these chicken feet? So it's common in the South.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying?
Yes. Yeah, because you know, I grew up, I'm from rural South Georgia. I'm heavy Georgia. Yeah. So I grew up eating pig ear sandwiches, eating pigtails, eating chicken necks, eating pig feet, eating, you know, the wild game, the squirrel, the rabbit, the raccoon, possum.
You ain't lying. Because you know how I know? I watched the whole segment about you and your brother and your grandma. You love your grandma, bro.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? Absolutely. She raised y'all, bro. Y'all had to walk hella far to school. It was a small little I know your story. I know the struggle, bro. I know where you come from, bro. And I'm proud of you too, bro. Trust that.
40, you mentioned, I appreciate that. You mentioned that you started investing in startups and you're doing quite well in that. Has there been some opportunities that you like, I'm gonna pass on this, and they come to find out they hit?
Not yet, because anything that has potential. I would say fixtures that already been hit a few times. If they involve, it's like they ain't involved. Like I'm in a company, one of the ones that with Oprah, and people don't know what it is, but it's one of them right now. Right. Bianca Millionaire and our whole, you know, Supreme Partners team. You know what I'm saying? Right. And so we in it, but we just don't say nothing. We cool. You know what I'm saying? But like I say, anytime you got some big names or something in there that really had a few companies that got acquired and IPO'd, you know what I'm saying? You want to get in. You want to be in those. Because they know, evidently they know something. Evidently they know what it is because they think about the future. Right. You know what I'm saying?
If them big dogs got their name attached to it, it's normally something good.
It's normally something good, bro.
What was your first business venture?
My first business venture was, I would say, 1989. Mm-hmm. Me and my brother had a clothing store. It was called New Fad Clothing right there in Millersville on Solano Avenue. Okay. And we bought a clothing store. We would get our clothes. We were so young that we wasn't able to have our credit. We had to figure it out ourselves because we self-taught and we self-made. And so we would go to the garment district. You know what I'm saying? We would go to garment district to get our clothes. We went to New York, and get clothes for a lower price. We went to the Magic Show. The Magic Show used to be a big deal in Las Vegas. We went to there back then. We hooked up with Carl Kanai, Cross Colors, Major Damage, all those. They let us get in on COD, UPS COD, cash on delivery back then. You know what I'm saying? And we would go to Cordelia if we miss a drop off or something. Like if we was gone and we go pick up our clothes there and pay right there or whatever. Back this, you got to remember, this is the late 80s. You know what I'm saying? So, we had New Fad Clothing up and running. So I take the little bread that I made, you know what I'm saying, and go put a down payment. We had my man Studio Tone, which produced a whole bunch of songs, Captain Save-A-Ho and a whole bunch of Sick With It Records slaps. You know what I'm saying? He stayed, we had New Fad Clothing. Next to that was Davenport. Then further down, you had Rich Arts Barbershop. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? Then you had Studio Tone Studio. So I'll take the little bread that I make and I'll go put a down payment down there on Studio Tone. Here go $100, man. Let me get in next Thursday. I'm gonna have my lyrics already written. All I need is like 4 hours. And I'm gonna come in here and knock out about 4 or 5 songs. And I was a youngster, so I knock out 4 or 5 songs complete right away. Like, cats go in there and knock out songs, but this was with a lot of thought in it. You know what I'm saying? Right. They go in there and knock out a song and just do a verse or a verse and a half, no hook, it'll be incomplete. I have my Tupac on. I go in there and knock out full songs right away. You know what I'm saying? So that was my first business venture right there.
So you've been about this hustle thing for a minute.
Just a teenager.
So you got the you started a little clothing thing, but it seems to me you were doing the clothing thing because music was always, because you're like, okay, I got $100. I'm gonna need some boo time next Thursday. So that clothing was the start, was the gateway to what you really wanted to do, which was music.
That's right. That's what it was. It helped me out tremendously. You know what I mean? And I always had, I used to have a paper route. Okay. You know what I'm saying? And on that paper route, my granddaddy had one earlier too. He had one early in the morning. The papers would be delivered to me. He'd come pick me up and it'd be delivered to him too, but he'd pick me up. and it'll be early in the morning before school, like 5 a.m. You know what I'm saying? Remember, mind you, I was in band. I played the drums from the 4th grade all the way to the 12th grade. They didn't have studios and stuff like that back when I was in the 4th grade on up. You know what I mean? Right. Everything was manually. So anyway, so remember, I had 0 period band. That means you got to dang near be at school at like 7:30. So I had to be already dressed, everything. So granddaddy come pick me up 4:35 a.m. in the morning. And so one day I'm on the paper route with him, and I was an observer of the game. I've always been a student of the game, so I always pay attention to older people and everything. And I just used to observe everything around me. And one day I'm in the car with him. He was like, it was just me and him. He just, grandson. I said, hey, granddad. He just, you a heavy thinker, huh? I say I am, granddaddy, because I was in deep thoughts. That's why I'm so thought like this. I'm just a thinker. You know what I'm saying? And that's why I'm woke. But yeah, man, I used to work for South Vallejo during the summer at Vallejo neighborhood housing because I drew. I used to like to draw. So I'd take an old house, you know what I'm saying? And I draw the old house and then show how it's going to look at the end of when it's done, complete, refurbished and everything. Yeah, I used to do that, man. I used to do, you know, I never let grass grow under my feet, man. Wasn't nothing standing still but an old ass hill and a broken down Bonneville on my behalf. You feel me?
So what inspired you to get into the music? What inspired you to rap?
What inspired me to rap was when I first heard the Sugar Hill Gang, 1979.
1979, Rapper's Delight.
Rapper's Delight, boy. When I heard that, I'm like, what the hell is this new form of music? You know? And it was just everybody at my school was singing it. It was new. And I knew
that song all the way through. It was about 20 minutes long, but everybody knew it.
Everybody knew that song, man. The chicken tastes like something. It was like all kind of the hip hop.
Yeah.
Hippity. I mean, you got to remember that was, you know, hip hop. What was 79? What was that?
That was Rapper's Delight came out in 79. Yep.
41 years ago, 42 years ago when that came out. That's a trip, bro. So basically, that made me start rapping, just playing around.
Right.
You know,
so, but for that, I'm listening. Now, when you started, your style didn't immediately catch on. It wasn't until years later that people appreciated your style, your flow, your cadence. And to this day, nobody has ever been able to replicate what you've been able to do on the mic.
No, because my style is unpredictable because I don't even know how I'm gonna flow. Like it just depends on how the beat sound or what you know, whatever direction my flows take me, because I'm all over the place like space.
Right.
Not everywhere like air, you know. And so it's like because I can do it all, bro. I can rap slow and I can rap fast. I rap real slow, laid back, because I like mob music, and then I just turn it on. Then here come that, you know, that mouthpiece with a shift kit in it. You know what I'm saying? I guess just get the gassing. You know what I'm saying? That's when the dual exhausters kick in. Then when I take off, that's when motherfuckers be like, oh my God, this nigga, oh, there's something wrong with him. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. But the style and the way you do it, the words, the cadence, that's what it is. I mean, your flow, like I said, nobody has ever been able to replicate that. You know, we've seen rappers that, you know, rest your soul, Pop Smoke, he sounds like 50. And we've heard rappers that sound like some of the modern day rappers. But you and that style that's so unique to the Bay and to E-40, why can't someone flow like that?
So it's people I've grew up on too as well that, you know, you can say that has influences on me too. And you would never know though. Like you.
Well, you got a kind of KRS-One vibe.
Definitely. I got KRS-One in me. I got Too Short in me. I got some brothers from Richmond, California named Magic Mike and Calvin T. Yep. And, you know, Kango from UTFO. If you ever heard him, just Kango from UTFO.
Yeah.
That's why I made my voice like that. You feel me? Like it's a lot of, I got influences too, but when you put me all together, like I got like Ice-T in me, you won't even know I got Ice-T in me.
Right.
But I got, you know, I got the streets in me, and Ice-T's straight street shit. You feel me?
Right.
So anyway, it's a whole bunch of rappers, man, and it's me too with my character, and my cadence come from playing the drums.
Right.
So if you listen to my cadences, it's drum, it's percussion. It's a percussion flow. It's dope. You know what I'm saying?
You, as I mentioned, when you first started out, they're like, man, that's whack. I mean, nobody was really trying to collab with you. So what were you thinking then? You're like, damn, man, I'm out here doing what I do. I know my stuff good. I know it stink, but I can't get no love.
Man, it bothered me. I tell you one day, man, when we in 1988, we had our me, my brother Mac D Shot, my cousin B Legit, my sister Sugar T. We was called MVP, most valuable players. We had a place called the Pros DJs. We played our music for them. It was like probably maybe 50 people in the room, maybe 100, I don't know. And I was like, so we played it, and you know, no one gave us no feedback. My man Casper, which I talked to last week, he was like, what do you guys think? And no one said nothing. They didn't say nothing about like, man, you know, you need to go back to the drawing board. I think you should work on this a little more. It's like, y'all not quite there or whatever. They just did us like that. So I left, man, my heart started racing. I started having a panic attack. Like, you know, like I started getting anxiety. That was my first time ever experiencing anything like that. Right. You gotta understand, I had 1 foot on the turf and I had 1 foot in the vocal booth.
Right.
So I wasn't, you know what I'm saying? I wasn't
going either way.
Yeah. So I'm stressed out. So I don't know. I'm worried about if one of these old scandalous ass motherfuckers finna try to kick in my door and I'm gonna have to open them up. Or if, you know what I'm saying? Or if I'm a fail, as a popo finna be on my anus. You know what I'm saying? So I'm like, you know, I was stressed out. I was caught between a rock and a political hard place. It wasn't a catch-22, it was a catch-23. Luckily, I had, like I said, my grandparents, my aunties and them, my mom and them, everybody, prayer warriors. They wanted to, I'm the chosen one of the family. You know what I'm saying? And they knew, they seen it. They knew I was gonna be somebody. They knew I wanted out the streets. They knew that I wanted to be this influencer. They knew I wanted to be a motivator, you know what I'm saying? I'm here to inspire, you know what I'm saying? And they knew what I was gonna be. So anyway, that did what it did. I was holding a grudge up until recently when my uncle St. Charles like, man, you know what? Don't say the word hate when you don't like somebody. Just say you don't rock with them. You know what I mean? Something like that. You know what I'm saying? Because you say, you know, that can come back on you, because there's a lot of people I can really not ever like in my life. You know,
have problems, have issues with.
Yeah, because they did me wrong. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Because I'm a real good person, you know? And so
at the time, do you think they knew they were doing you wrong, or it was just that? What do you think their thought process?
Now that I'm older, because you know, with age comes wisdom.
And maturity,
as I get older, I get wiser. So I'm thinking on the outside looking in, they probably just didn't understand how, you know, we was ahead of our time.
Right.
You know, but at that time, my style didn't develop that quick like that. It was like kind of normal. That was my first little goal. So I'm like, man, it was right in the pocket. It wasn't like it was some throw shit like I'm throwed now, like my style everywhere like air. You know what I'm saying? So I'm like,
so your style was like a Tesla. Tesla been out for a minute, but they didn't get hot until like the last 5-10 years, and now they blowing up like everything, like nitro.
Just like Tito's vodka, took him 20 years to really get known everywhere, and look at him now.
Yeah,
millionaire status. You see what I'm saying? So Rome wasn't built in a day. You feel me?
Nope. Right.
But they caught up. They finally caught up. Now everybody rapping fast. Now everybody know what's happening now. Now everybody know all my slang words is just now surfacing that I said when some of these rappers was kids. Before they wasn't even born, I was saying the words that they credit a lot of rappers for, but I don't even trip because I'm older and wiser. It's like I know history repeats itself. Right. And I know how it go. And they got it from somebody, they got it from somebody, they got it from somebody, they got it from me. You feel me?
Yeah, you got it. That's your style. They done came like 4 people after you, but that's you.
In real life. And so, you know, like I said, I'm so much in a happy space, man, and I'm here to be a motivator, man, and want these youngsters to see how I get down. I'm not into no sucker stuff, man. I'm just trying to be solid, not salad.
Did you ever think about changing your style because you weren't getting the love, you weren't getting the play that you thought you deserved? So did you think about changing your style, your flow?
Nah, my mama told me, she said, whatever you do, boy, you just keep rapping fast. Because she used to see me, I didn't even know what it was. I rubbed my neck like back here, and it was all this, my shoulders would be real tense. So one day my auntie said, why are you so tense, boy? She was like, and I said, I don't know, I was a little stressed, I guess. She said, that was stress. I was stressed out at a young age.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So I didn't know. So I was like, my mama used to always tell me, she said, boy, keep rapping, doing your thing. She was always She always motivated me. She used to tell us, you know, she raising 3 boys and 1 girl on Magazine Street. She like, y'all get out there and be men. Get out there and be men. Experience the world. And that's what we did. She gave us our freedom to go. That's why we so ahead of our time. We'd be out of, when we was 15, 16, 17 years old, we everywhere. I'm talking about out of state. We all over the place like space. And my mama still working 3 jobs. Worked at Napa State Hospital. You understand me? Worked at Mr. Jimmy's around the corner on Fulton Street. I mean, on Laurel Street in the hillside. Worked at Vallejo Neighborhood House. And I used to wash walls with her. Worked at Maggie's Hamburgers on Benicia Road. Like, you know what I'm saying? She doing all these side jobs just to take care of us. You know, my dad paid child support, but, you know, that was, you know, 4 kids, you know, and we was into sports. So $400 wasn't enough for 4
back
kids.
Then, they want child support, is not raising kids.
I know, because he had to pay $410. I think it's $410 total for 4 kids, which he did because he worked for PG&E. You know, I love my pops, you know what I'm saying? But like I said, that wasn't enough for us. We was active. We played football, baseball. We played you know.
Right.
And
all boys eat.
All
and
of us
you know, boys eat. $400 last you a week.
A week, bro. That's what I'm saying. You feel me?
I'm looking at your resume. You've dropped 27 solo albums. What is the thought process when you go into I mean, do you need a beat and then write, or do you write with a beat in mind? What's the process like for E-40 writing a song?
Well, first off, it's more than 27. That's old data because they've been saying that for the last 4 years.
So what you up to now? We want to make sure we get it right. 30?
It's okay, fam. This is you reading off the thing. It's like I don't even know now. I got to count because I dropped something like in December. You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
A joint because they haven't added, you know, me and Be Legit album. You know, Connect and Respect. They didn't do me and Too Short History, Mob Music, Function Music. Like they ain't adding. You know, the one me and Too Short just did recently. They ain't added all the group albums I've been with the clique. My brothers and sisters. Right. You know what I'm saying? My brother and sister. My brothers and sister. Anyway, make a long story short, but no, let's get back right where you said I'm sitting up here trying to correct you about how many albums. What was the question after that? As far as
I asked you, when you go in, do you need a beat and write to the beat, or have you written a song with a beat in mind?
Man, a lot of times I do write songs with a beat in mind, and then. But I take notes. Okay. So, you know, if I say, make up something like, you know, they say wrong. What they say, life ain't promised tomorrow. I say life ain't promised today, and I say that in my little tape recorder, or also I write it in my notes on my iPhone. Life ain't promised tomorrow or today. You know what I'm saying? Okay. And you know, and that's something my uncle and them used to say. You feel me? That's how I say it, right? I come just like that, and then that's how I'm so thorough. Like I'm all over the place. So you know, that's how I write. But I love when a beat has a hook to it already. Right. When these producers send it with the hook, whether they write the hook in my voice, like they write it and say, 40, you say this part on the hook, because I'm gonna give them they publishing, they writer splits, all that. That's all cool. You know, people don't write for me. But if you want to write a hook for me, all day do it. You can do a hook for me if you want to. You know what I'm saying?
So you have no ghostwriters. Everything that 40 spit, 40 wrote.
Oh yeah, man. But you know, we also have every rapper hey, if a motherfucker lying, if they ain't saying they got a house full of their partners, and they say 40, well, we saying it like this now. This is the new word they saying, and they say, and you put that in, or they say, what if you say it like this? Just a couple of lines. Everybody done bought a couple of bars or so with they folks around them. You know what I'm saying? It's called vibing. Every rapper, fuck what they talking about. They know it. You know what I'm saying? We all got, even though we write all shit, but I'm just saying every writer participate like that. You know, whether they helping them come with a hook or something like Ideals Flow. You know what I'm saying? Family members, like all that shit. You know, so that's how that shit go.
40, you've been on a track with Tupac, Too Short, Lil Jon, Snoop Dogg, Mac Dre, Big Sean, Scarface, Ty Dolla $ign, Yo Gotti. Who brings out the best? And when you were on a collab with one of those guys, you know they're gonna bring it. Are you saying, you know what? Oh, I got something for him. I got something today. I'm gonna lay this track down. This thing gonna be a smoker.
Anybody I do a song with, period, is friendly competition. I'm gonna try to outgas you. no matter if it's your song or my song. I'm gonna try to outgas you.
You gonna try to turn the man up on his own song? How you gonna come to the man house and go try to and put your feet up on his coffee table and show out in front of him?
You know why? Because it makes the song bigger and greater. Because it's called friendly competition. So if we're both showing out, it's gonna make the song super hard.
Right.
Super hard. Like I got a song right now that I'm dropping the video for in a couple days, and that song is called "I Stand on It." Now we did this song about 4 months ago and we put it out, but we just did the video to it. And I'm just now like, damn, man, we was all gassing on that thing. Like it's tremendous gas. It's like unheard of gas. And it's Joyner Lucas, myself, and T.I. And we on there rapping like, Joyner always rap like that. But me and Tip, we ain't never rap like that. Well, I have a little bit, but me and Tip, we ain't rap like that in many years. You know what I'm saying? It's like new school, but it's we never rap like that. But when you hear it, it's gassy in every word. You can hear it, and just y'all look out for that video. It's called "I Stand on It." So, like I say, man, I could do any style. I'm all over the place with my flows, and I just love creating things, being different. When you're different, you become an innovator. If you sound like everybody else, you know what I'm saying. If you continuously just want to be the same, do whatever's in, you can do whatever's in, because it's good to keep your eye on the ball so you won't strike out. You know what I'm saying? So you won't go down, looking. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
But keep your eye on the ball and dial in, because the reason I say that is you got to turn with the times, or the times going to turn on you. But you got to do it in your way, and keep it in your jurisdiction, within your envelope, and make it you. Because like I say, it was a time in the Bay Area, it was called the hyphy movement.
Right.
Due to people like my man Rick Rock, Droopy, and so on and so forth, Trax Million, and a whole bunch of other producers, the beats became up tempo, especially Rick Rock, because me and Rick Rock had them up tempo, and I'm like, man, all you got to do is just spit what's going on, you know what I'm saying, in your way, spit it, you ain't lying, tell what's going on, put some game in there, a few bars, do your thing, and just do it on an up tempo beat. A lot of cats, man, I ain't with that, man. It's just mob music. I'm the one who made mob music. I created that. Me Too, Be Legit, and Ant Banks, and Studio Tone, and Mike Mosley, and Sam Bostic, and Rick Rock, and all us. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
But go on down the line. But I'm just saying, like, we just doing something. We adjusting to the times. It's different times. We got to be innovators. So up tempo beats, spitting that good old, spitting straight gasoline over them is where it's at. Because cats was like, man, I ain't with that, man. I'm keeping. They were stubborn. I'm like, man, you ain't stubborn. You just don't know how to do it. Or you just don't want to push your brain to do it. You know what I'm saying? And a lot of people got stuck in the mud, not trying to adapt. And I stayed with the youngsters and the new generation, and still was me, and outgassing motherfuckers. And still to this day, I'm a half a century years old, and I still wrap circles around the majority of the your favorite rappers. Trust that.
Who haven't you worked with that you would like to work with, as far as maybe a collab, maybe a producer? Because I think it was somebody that, I think it was Dr. Dre. I don't know if you've done anything with Dr. Dre, and you said you would like to do something with Dr. Dre, and you would think that, hell, he from Cali, I'm from Cali, we'd have linked up at some point in time by now, but it just hasn't happened. I
really don't think Dr. Dre mean anything by it. It's just, I don't stay in LA.
Right.
I'm in the Bay. So I think if I was closer to him, I've been as Dr. Dre. Dr. Dre will love me being around him. You know what I mean? That's how I feel.
Right.
Because I'm a character, I'm a good person, I ain't scandalous or none of that shit. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
I'm just a creative person. He creative, I'm creative. But I figure, man, like I say, as you get older, you get wiser. And with age comes wisdom. I'm like, that day might come. It might come.
So have you picked up have you picked up the phone and tried to reach out? I mean,
we tried before. We tried to do a song. Actually, I did. He sent me a song to my man Silk and me and Short. And guess what? And we never did go all the way through with it. It wasn't me or him. We don't know what happened, but that beat never, because Dre sit on some beats. He'll sit on some good songs. They say there's a lot of songs he got in the vault that he ain't put out yet. You know what I mean?
Right.
That people been on, you know what I'm saying? And so I was like, okay. So one of them songs, you know, I was like, oh, I can't waste these lyrics. I'm gonna use this on another song, right? You know what I'm saying? But that ain't why, man. That ain't why. It's just we just haven't had a chance to connect. But he is on Mount Rushmore. On one of he got on the song for Mount Rushmore. Me, Snoop Dogg, Too Short, and Ice Cube. He did do that because you know that's Snoop and Ice Cube, real friend. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
I got respect and love for him. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. But you know when we have met and ran across each other, it's nothing but love and respect.
You started this Bay thing, but one of the biggest Bay Area rappers is Tupac, and a lot of people have him on their Mount Rushmore. And you have a very unique. You can tell stories about Tupac that very few people can because you knew him on a different level. You knew him back then before he blew up and became Tupac, Death Row Tupac. Talk to us about Pac and how did he push you to become the rapper you became?
Well, I think we pushed each other because he grew up on me, but at the same time he blossomed quicker than me.
Right.
And I grew up on it was artists that started it before me as well. Like shout out to MC Hammer.
Yeah, Hammer.
Yeah, but I've always been there. Like, I'm since 88, like music on the shelf since 88. That ain't too hard to, ain't too many, I just didn't blow up right then and there. Mine came a year and a half later. I start, when I came with, the shit that'll fuck with your brain and Left Side and Mr. Flamboyant and all that good stuff. And it just start taking off from there. You know what I mean?
Right.
But I would say, man, so many stories. Let's see. I'll tell you about a phone conversation, you know what I'm saying? Because I tell a lot of other stuff when we in together.
Okay.
But a phone conversation, he was just telling me, I probably talked about this before. He was like, hey, 40, because we was finna hang up on the phone. We was talking, and then we was finna hang up, and he said, oh, I meant to tell you, man, you might want to invest in this, in this thing. I came with an idea, man. I want to call, they got Planet Hollywood. I think I want to do something called, Gangster Cafe, man. Where you have all the gangsters like, Al Capone and Lucky Luciano and all these cats on the walls, but it's a cafe. They serving food. They got, they playing music from the Rolling 20s or whatever, you know what I'm saying? Or whatever, right. Whenever that era was. And you know what I'm saying? He had it laid out. He had that ideal. And that was interesting because he wanted all his partners to invest in it and right. whatnot. And he had the vision. And now if he did something like that, he'll have the money to raise. He'll raise that money. Right. You know what I'm saying? He'll raise that money. He'll start up a fund and all the fixtures to get in and like, this is owned by, 40 and a whole bunch of other cats, you know what I'm saying? So it's just the opportunities wasn't there at the time, but he had all the visions and he was ahead of his time and he did so much in so little time. The man was only 25 years old. And let me tell you something. And he got that bay in him and he player about it for sure. The way he carried himself, you know what I mean? Well, all that, you know what I'm saying? The man was a fashion, like the way he was a real true thug with it, but a GQ looking thug, like the way he carried himself, the way he dressed, his whole swag.
He was heavy on the Versace.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? That was the look. That's all of us wore Versace and
them silk shirts. I had a few of them too, 40. I had a few of them old silk shirts with that print.
That was our look. That was what was in at the time. You feel me? That was real bossy.
What made Pac special in the rap game? What was so unique about him? Because if you think about Brenda Had a Baby, and he talked about the song, I forget, about his mom, Dear Mom, I think that was but anyway, he talked about, he talked about the violence and the drugs and all that stuff, but he talked about real life, how Brenda, how she gave him, got pregnant at 13, 14, and the love for his mom. What made him so unique?
He talked about the street. He talked of his vision, his storytelling. He being from Black Panther background, his mom, and all that stuff. He was like a rebel, and one thing he touched on was the octagon, the trap, the cage. Right. You know what I'm saying? The soil, the hood, the you know what I'm saying, the smudge, right. And that's what made him so unique. And he uplift male and female spirits, because you know, it touched home with the stuff he was saying.
Yes.
You know what I mean? And that's what made him so dope. And he did a lot of what they call pain rap. He was doing that way back then. That's why we all felt it. You know, we all felt it. And that's what he specialized in. That's why his music lasted so long. That's why you got to consider him the greatest rapper of all time. It ain't what he just did in a vocal booth, but him being an actor, a poet, like you know what I'm saying, doing poetry, you know, he did, and just being a leader. Like if you know right now, you know, during this whole pandemic, you know, during the
George Floyd
and the protesting, yeah, you know, he'd be on the front line with the biggest mouth.
Yes.
With a bullhorn, with hella people behind him. You know what I'm saying? That man was ahead of his time, bro. And you know, I hate when people don't give people their roses when they alive. You know what I'm saying? Give people their roses, man. You know, because you'll look back and just be like, man, how did he do all that? You know what I'm saying?
Right.
He did so much in so little time. And look at how long his albums lasted.
Yeah.
You know, look how long they lasted after he passed. It was so much music out there, bro. You know?
It's gonna be it's hard to find a rap album that's harder than All Eyes on Me. And then
I was on that thing, baby. I was on it. Platinum. Come on, Diamond.
That was special. And like you said, he was 25. If you look at he and Biggie, Biggie had like basically a 2-year, 2.5, 3-year career. Pac, even though he was with Digital Underground, I'm talking about as a solo. I mean, he didn't have a decade. He didn't have 20 years like a lot of these rappers had. Can you imagine if he had a decade or a 20-year run, he and Biggie, what the rap game would have been?
Sometimes God want him upstairs early, man. I figure he wanted the angels looking over people like myself and a whole bunch of other cats. You know what I'm saying? He called him in early, man. You know, and I can imagine he would have, I mean, he'd be a billionaire for sure. He'd be a billionaire because he was very intelligent and he wanted to learn. He wanted to learn from white people and other people. Like he wanted to be, he would have probably, you never know what it was groundbreaking things. His mind was so deep and he loved his people. He loved what he is, Black. You know what I'm saying? But he knew, you know, he would have been that rebellious slave that would have been learning how to read behind closed doors. Like, how you say that? Woo, woo. He wouldn't care about getting his back whipped and shit like that. Like he let his nuts hang over his shoulder. He was with it. He had heart, man. Period. You know? So, man, I can imagine him right now, man, a billionaire. And salute to Jay-Z too, man. I love everything Jay-Z is doing, man. I respect him as being a real man and a great husband. You know, he loves his queen. They teamwork make the dream work. You know what I'm saying? And they rocking. You know what I'm saying? I love they're great examples of an Afro-American.
How were you able to stay away from the West Coast, East Coast battle that inevitably claim Biggie, claim Tupac? We see a lot of, because before Biggie and Tupac, rappers weren't getting killed. They were pillars of the community. They were to be protected. And now you see Extension, you see Pop Smoke, you saw Biggie, Tupac, you see, I'm like, they supposed to be off limits. 40, you know, when we were growing up, there were certain people that were off limits. They were untouchable in the community.
Yeah. You know, I stayed prayed up because I prayed before if I got a certain phone call to make to somebody or sit down, I try to ask God to guide my thinking process and my tongue to say the right things and hope that the other person that I'm talking to or the other people that I'm talking to and take it the right way and we work it out because communication is everything.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So I trip because even though I'm from the West Coast, you know, they used to call me the West Coast Biggie. You know what I'm saying? You had Biggie over there. He wore Kango. I wore Kango, even though he was younger than me. You know what I'm saying? I was wearing Kangos when I was, 14, 15, 16 years old.
Right.
And I used to get them from the NB Mall and Eastmont Mall. You know what I'm saying? And then Berkeley at the Berkeley Hat Shop. You know what I'm saying? Like, anyway, to make a long story short, we kind of was similar, you know, but that was the look. You know what I'm saying? We wore the same kind of. But the thing is that I actually, you know, I was like, let me kick back and watch how everything unfolds with the East Coast thing. Cause I would go to New York and get nothing but love. Like, you know, I was with Jive Records. That was my distribution I was with.
Right.
So I'm out there in New York, and it's like I'm just walking, you know, down the street, like going to get something to eat or something. I'm with maybe some representatives from Jive, you know, showing me, you know, on our way to, because everything is walking distance and everything when you're going into these big buildings and all this stuff like that. So I'm like, everybody just blowing the horn and shit. 40, man, we fuck with you, bro. We fuck with you, bro. Like, you wouldn't know that it's so much, it's really a lot of love out there that we haven't collected. I went to Harlem. I called me and my man Dave House. We called the not the bar, what's the subways. We called the bar. We called the subways and went to Harlem, from Manhattan to Harlem. Man, when I got off the subways and walking down you know, what was that? Is that 110, 105th Street? What street is that? The main one in Harlem. Where Sylvia's at and all that.
Yeah, I know exactly what you're talking about. Yeah.
So we walking down that thing, man. There's so much love. This is during the time when the shit, all of East Coast shit and all that. It's so much love, you know what I'm saying? Like, they fuck with certain people. I know if I was from the East Coast and I seen E-40 from the West Coast, and I watched his movement and watched how different he is and how he carries himself and shit like that. Because I'm not a shit starter. You know what I'm saying? I ain't into all that shit. That shit don't move me. I'm not with that. You know what I'm saying? Right. But if I watched how he carried himself and I met him, I'd be like, man, I want to meet that brother. Like, and I seen him, I want to meet him.
Right.
I would like E-40 because I'm a unique dude. You know what I'm saying? And I'm dope. Right. You know, and I carry myself, you know, in an intelligent way, you know, so it's like, I just had nothing but love, bro. You know, so I don't know, man. God let me see all eras of hip hop. I seen it all. I'm talking all of it. I seen it all. Only parts I missed was maybe, you know, the South Bronx days, the days when, you know, of, Melly Mel, and them, you know, back when they were shooting them videos back in.
Remember that Grandmaster Flash and the Furious?
But I watched it. Yeah, but we seen it. African Bombard and all, how they moved.
Big Daddy Kane.
I'm in that movement. I loved watching.
Oh, you love Big Daddy.
Big Daddy Kane, Big Marquis.
80s, 85, 86, yeah.
I love that era. You know what I'm saying? Big Daddy Kane was one of my favorite rappers and still is. I would love to hear some music from him today because I liked his swag. He was real player, haircut, him and Scoob and Scrap Lover, the way they used to dance and shit. Like, they was real player. Big Daddy Kane was real player about his shit. You know what I'm saying? I used to watch all that, you know, Cool G rap and all them. What was that group called? Was it called the Syndicate? Not the Syndicate. It was all of them. They did a video with the cowboy hats on and everything. It was, oh my God. Ace was in it. Oh man,
that might have been. That was the beginning. That was the beginning of the golden era, because you had that from like 86, and then you had that movement like you mentioned, KRS-One. You had Eric B. and Rakim, EPMD. Whoo. And
I used to watch it all. MC Shannon, Easy-E. Come on, Easy-E. Look, what about East Coast? MC Shannon and them, bro. Yeah. MC Shannon. A lot of people don't. I used to watch MC Shay D. People don't know. MC Shay D was the first rapper out of Atlanta ever.
I'm not a star.
You know what I'm saying? He had slaps. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? You know, Luke Skywalker, when I'm at Grambling State University, man, we used to go, we was hyphy. We used to go dumb in 86, 87 to throw that dick. Throw that dick, Luke Skywalker and them.
Yeah.
The Two Live Crew, like this. I watched so much of hip hop. You know, back then we was just tuned into the TV, watching Video Soul, watching all the outlets. And then when MTV started playing hip hop, that just took the cake. We loved it. You know what I mean? And so here we are, man, to 2021.
When this East Coast, you had the West Coast, you had the East Coast, and then all of a sudden there was this Southern rap that came onto the scene. Lil Jon. How did you and Lil Jon connect to start making music?
Well, I used to love the Ghetto Boys.
Yep.
And all them cats out there, man. 3-2 them. 3-2 and Big Mike them and all them cats, the Houston cats.
Houston cat. Bun B and 8-Ball. It had all the.
Them my folks, man. R.I.P. Pimp C. Them was my real folks to this day. You feel me? So I hooked up with Lil Jon. I remember he had a song called "I Like Them Gals." You know what I'm saying? But his guy was Too Short. Too Short. Right. Me being on the road, a lot of shows I would do with Too Short and Spice One, people like that. You know what I'm saying? And Lil Jon to be on the road with Too Short, and I would always, chop it up with him and this, that, and the third. And I was like, so Lil Jon just winning, just having hella slaps. So I said, man, we way past dude. Let's get in there. And you know what I'm saying? We did a song called Rep Your City. I was in a few of his videos before that. Then I was in then he did Rep Your City with me, Petey Pablo. I think who else on there? Bun B. Yeah, Rep Your City. That was a pretty big song in the Midwest. And that was during the time when it was kind of like a drought during out here in the Bay Area. I had Mustard and Mayonnaise out, and it was like 2002, I believe. Mm-hmm. And so it was like, but I was hitting big in the Midwest and the South with that song. You know what I'm saying? And so that was the beginning of our relationship, far as being good, knowing that we can make good music together, and our friendship became closer, and he stayed solid, man. And so 2003, my distribution deal was up with Jive Records, and so I was like, I asked God, what should I do? And a voice came to me like, call Lil Jon, call Little Jon. And I hit him on a two-way page. Back then we had two-way pages. I say, call me, man. I'm out of my deal. Let's talk. You know what I'm saying? He was like, you out of your deal? I said, yeah. He said, man, let me call my people. I'm gonna call you right back. He called me back within at least an hour, and all his people agreed, all the BME staff. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. And so he was like, he said, they're ready to do it. Send me your lawyer contact, right? And that's when I did a deal with Lil Jon and BME Click, and my career, and my career just started all over again. More, it wasn't over because I was still popping, right? But the attention wasn't on the West Coast. So all that time that attention wasn't on the West Coast, mainly the Bay Area. The attention wasn't on the Bay Area. Right. So I'm holding on like a hubcap in the fast lane. Right? Right. And so, like I say, if you just keep playing your position, staying solid, great things happen. You know what I'm saying? Right. And then, I go to the studio at Stankonia Studio, which is Outcast's studio, and you got Lil Scrappy and all the young generation BME Click in there working in different studios and whatnot. And they all showing me love, and we kicking it, we drinking the whole woo-wop, and it was time for me to work the next day. So I go in there and I get out. And I put me and Scrappy, and we did some songs together, and all of us, we all worked together. And I just went full-fledged ahead and knocked it down, because they got me like it wasn't Airbnb, but they rented out an apartment that I was living in for 3 weeks. And I took advantage of that 3 weeks in Atlanta. And I went crazy every day in the studio. Our sessions would start at 12 at night all the way to 12 in the afternoon. You feel me? Right. And then we head over to Busy Bees or... What you know about Busy Bees and that smothered chicken? Come on, I used to get the mac and cheese. Yeah, I know. I used to get the turkey, the turkey. Oh, you get the turkey? Oh, you get the turkey wings? The smothered turkey wings, hell yeah. And I love smothered chicken. Anything smothered go good with me, right? I'm with it, right? So we just knocked that shit out, man. We did it, and then he took us to, so one day we went to Beautifuls. He said, we're going to Beautifuls. I said, Beautifuls? He said, yeah, watch. I think it's called Beautifuls. And he was like, we went there, and they had whiting fish, fish and grits. They had grits with cheese in it and all that. They had all the salmon cakes, tuna cakes. Yeah, exactly. Hey, bro, you know, I told you, man, that's the kind of stuff I rock with, you know. And so he'll say, man, today we're going to do all up-tempos, do all up-tempo songs. I've said this before, but I just love Jon's, you know, he was my tutor. He taught me, he's like, you know what, that's dope right there. Take that ad-lib off. That's why my Ghetto Report Card album was so great, because it wasn't overly done. Like, you know, I'm so creative. I'm all over the place. He'll make me do and me being open-minded, knowing this man got hella hits up under him, I'm open-minded, so I'm listening to him. He like, you know what, I can put a drop in that song right there in that verse and make it sound dope, but I think you can come better. And I'm open-minded. I just come better. I just come anew. And that's the problem. I'm not big-headed. I'm you know, I'm open-minded. If you listen, right. If you listen and learn, you know what I'm saying? Things work out the best, bro. And we made that motherfucking album a classic. My Ghetto Report Card with nothing but, I can sing a whole show. I can do a whole 20-minute segment show, 25 minutes. I can do 25 minutes to 30 minutes on just that album alone. That's how many slaps it had. You know, from fucking, you know, Go Hard or Go Home to right. You and That Booty to Tell Me When to Go to.
Oh, man. Hey, you hit that part with you. Hey, 40. You hit that part with that one.
Come on.
Jesus Christ had dressed so shake up. I ain't got no growing stuff.
I was just talking about, I wasn't really going to grow none until I said, this shit hella funny. Let me just fuck with it, because everybody in the Bay Area had dreadlocks.
Yeah.
Not one person, not one rapper, everybody.
Right.
You feel me? So all I'm doing is adapting to my soil. So what was so beautiful about it is I had hyphy movement over here I was part of, I participated in. And I also participated in the snap movement. Well, snap your fingers with Lil Jon now. You know what I'm saying? And so on and so forth. So it was just a great space. And I never let up. Like I tell people, anytime you get, you know, you got some momentum, do not take your foot off the gas, man. Keep your foot on the gas. Stop playing.
Then you and That Booty. That's my, I feel like that too.
That's the
I'm trying to get, hey, you better give me your number or something.
Come on, they don't even know that's Candy from the Atlanta Housewives on the hook.
Oh, is it?
That's her singing and everything. That's her on there with T-Pain. So she came in and did her part in the middle. She in the vicinity on everything. Candy, that's the folks right there.
Oh man, Candy Bird, I didn't know that.
Yep, she got the platinum. She got the platinum thing on her wall and everything. Ask her to show that shit one day. She'll show it to you on the show. Say, take me over to that platinum, You and That Booty motherfucking RIA approved album. You know what I'm saying? Platinum certified. You know what I'm saying?
That thing was nice. You mentioned that you went to Grambling. Now, I mean, Grambling, Louisiana. Grambling is in Louisiana. You're from the West Coast. Did you feel out of place because they ain't hip? They weren't on game. You know, like 40 Water being from the Bay.
Yeah, I was looking at the old pictures. My papa Bensworth sent me the other day, and I'm looking at the California picture. It had like the California car, all the cats from California, and I'm looking at it, and I'm like, I see Waldo Bensworth III Jr., I see Be Legit, and I see myself, and I'm looking at we all on one side, and I said to my wife, I say, who the most swagged out motherfuckers on here? And she circled it because I sent the picture to her text. And it was us. Right, it was me, Be Legit, and Waldo. We were so motherfucking. You could tell we was from the Bay. You feel me? Like you could just tell we was sweat. Yeah. I can show you that. I can send that picture to you. You would be like, "Oh, them motherfuckers." Yeah, you could tell. You could see the difference. Right, we was gamed up. There's something about us. You feel me? But yeah, I went to Grambling, and we met a lot of good friends to this day. I was just talking to my boy Reggie Pugh. You know what I'm saying? Out of Oakland, you know what I'm saying? He from Oakland, and he was solid all the way through, and he my friend to this day. You know what I'm saying? And we met all kind of people from the Bay Area, from EPA, Marin City, and we all clicked up. We had our Vallejo partners out there too. I went out there with two Vallejo cats, my man Dion Davis and Brant Jones, which is Be Legit.
Right.
We all drove out there. And Be Legit's yellow Mustang 5.0 hit 50. You feel me?
Right.
It slid out there, you know. So we met a lot of good people, and we kind of like I say, we already got that. I had my great grandma, my granddaddy's mama stayed out there, and we stayed at her house for 3 days in Ruston, Louisiana.
Yeah, I know exactly where. Yep, I had a couple of teammates that in the NFL that played it that was from Ruston.
Right, and that's only 20 minutes from Grambling.
Yep.
You know, and so we stayed at her house for 3 days. The reason she worked at this cafe.
I think La Tech is in in Ruston.
Huh?
Louisiana Tech. I think La Tech is in Ruston, Louisiana.
I think it is. Yep, it is. Yep. And so Granny, my great grandmama, she stayed. She would go to work every morning. And she said, y'all just make sure y'all clean behind yourself. She said, here's the food. She had a freezer, the kind in the ground. I mean, on the ground, like the floor. Yeah. She had one of them, and she had a regular refrigerator. She had hella good ass food in there. I think she just went and bought it for us.
You called it right. That's what it's called. It's called a deep freezer.
A deep freezer, and it was food. It was food I'd never seen in my life. Like it was chicken patties fried already that you could just put in the oven and warm it. Like it was, you gotta remember, I'm a teenager, I'm 18. Right. You know what I'm saying? So I'm like, we look at it, and her house was spotless, and she lived by herself. Oh, she was like 70-something back then. You know what I'm saying? She lived to be 94. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But anyway, we waited, and the reason we stayed at her house for 3 days is because we had to wait for our dorm rooms. We had to wait to register, getting our classes, all that.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? We didn't want to mess up, so we wanted to get there a couple days early. So that's how we did it. And so it was so many people that we connected with out there, and the New Orleans cats and the New Orleans and Baton Rouge cats, we became close. A guy by the name of Jubilee, very known out there in New Orleans. You know, man, Alfred Payton. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. Alfred Payton. Me and him got into it back in the days, and me and him solid like this now. I got nothing but love and respect for him. He picked me up at the airport right before the pandemic, for the Bayou Classic and all that stuff last year. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So it's like we all became close, and then it's like there's so many other people from, not rappers, but people from Florida, Detroit, all these cats. You meet all them people, and you stay close with them for many years. So anyway, make a long story short, a short story long, I didn't feel out of place, but I will tell you this. I used to have a perm before I went to Grambling. On my way up there, I cut my perm in Arizona, because my wife went to beauty school too. And so she used to do my perm, but I cut it on my way up there. I was a skinny dude, and it was on my shoulder. I used to call it a Lord Jesus perm because it used to dangle right here. So my boy Dion was like, man, we finna go to the South, we don't know if they're gonna be thinking, we know we West Coast, we know we player, and when we don't know how they're gonna be thinking about you, with a perm, And I was like, I thought about it. I was like, and I hadn't had my hair done in a few days. So I, because wifey would do it and shit, you know what I'm saying? So I was like, shit, man, I might want to cut my shit, man. I go to Arizona, we stop by a motel, a broken down motel. I say, man, let's get some clippers, man. Let's go. Let me cut this shit. I cut that shit bald. When I went to Grambling, I go to I get in line to get my food. When I'm up there, I had an earring in my ear. I didn't have two. I had one in the left ear because back then you could only have it in your left ear.
Right.
You can. I mean, it was to each his own, but that was the proper thing to do, was put in your left ear.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So even with me having it in my left ear, I'm in line.
People looked at you sideways.
The lady did. The older lady in the line for the lunch and to serve you the food. She was whispering to the other lady, and be legit, and all of them heard it. They was like, she was like, look at that boy earring. Look at that earring in that boy ear. Look at that earring. I'm like, what?
Them old ladies, them old heads, they did not like seeing guys with earrings, be it left ear, right ear, or either ear. They no sir.
They didn't like it, bro. They didn't like it. I still kept my motherfucking earring in my left ear. I was like, fuck you. I had too much respect. I wouldn't go say that to her. But in my mind, I'm like, fuck you. You know what I'm saying? I just ignored it, just kept it pushing. But
Morty, what I try to tell people about Black college, because I went to an HBCU, I went to Savannah State University.
Yeah.
There's nothing like homecoming because it's like a gigantic family reunion. You got people, you got classes coming back, the class of 68, the class of 78, the class of 1982. They coming back and we family. The step shows, the walk across the yard, being in
my mind, I was a Q dog in my mind. I used to hang with them dudes. They was cool.
Hey, and you know, on the yard, you got the Greek and the sorrow parts. You got them sitting in there. They doing their step thing. They practicing, getting ready for the step shows that weekend. 40, I tell people, ain't nothing like that experience. I wouldn't trade that experience for anything.
Me either. I wouldn't trade. I'm so glad I went because I wasn't planning on going to college. Be Legit said he finna go, and I was like, I'm finna go too. Then you ain't finna leave me out here on Magazine Street, partner. You know what I'm saying? I'm going too. You know what I'm saying? I went. It was the best thing ever I can ever do, bro. It teach you how to be a man too. You know, you're washing your own stuff. You gotta go. You know.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? You know, the wash house is further down on the campus, way down there. You gotta get your bag and you know what I'm saying? Like the whole woo-wop.
Yeah.
We was doing it.
I had Master P on yesterday, and he talked about you, and he made special reference to your uncle, St. Charles. And he talked about how you and him, and especially your uncle, St. Charles, hooked him onto the game, to the distribution deal. Talk to us about that time in your life and in P's life, about what your uncle did for him, and how that was the start of, he said, that's the start of my business right there, when I started thinking like, okay, I can do this. He 40 doing it, I can do it.
True. And you know, and my uncle, it's a trip because he was about a guy I always looked up to as a kid. It used to be a show called Creature Feature. And my uncle knows how to paint, draw, everything. Like when I go to my grandmama's house, him and my uncle Bruce, which is his brother, R.I.P. Bruce, they would have drawings on their wall. So I used to draw on my own wall at home. They would have night drawings, like cartoons, everything. Because I can draw. My daddy can draw hella good. My daddy painting all that. So I got that good. I got it from both sides of the family, this, that, and the third. So I knew that my uncle was special because he would do sculptures. He did sculptures, like clay sculptures of, like, you know, whether it's a female, a male, or whatever, monsters. Like he one of them dudes that could be in Hollywood making a mask for movies and stuff.
Right. Costume design.
Yeah, exactly. And so they was like, Uncle Chucky gonna be on Creature Feature. It was a big deal on TV. We stayed up late. Moms let us stay up late because it used to come on like 11:30 at night. You know, we supposed to be in bed at 9 a.m. as little kids. You know, I mean 9 p.m. or 8 o'clock. When you're a kid, when you in third grade and fourth grade, you know what I mean?
Right.
Like, you know what I'm saying? So moms let us stay up that night to see Uncle Chucky. We could St. Charles, you know what I'm saying? And we was like, wow, he on Creature Feature. Creature Feature played all the old movies and stuff. So anyway, make a long story short, we knew he was something special. He had a couple of records in the 70s, and he did it on his own, independent. You know, it didn't blow, but his experience rubbed off on us. He taught us. So when we came in the game, I used to always tell him as a little kid, Uncle Chucky, I want to make a song. We want to make songs. Me and D-Shot, we would always say, we want to make records. Like a little kid, and he always do this with the money. So one day we it was that day came, and he really, that was the MVP record. He did the artwork on it. You know, this before Final Cut. This before what you call that shit? Photoshop. Photoshop and all that. He just knew what to do. You know what I'm saying? We got our records pressed up over at Rainbow Records. You know, this was vinyl. This is 88 when we came out with that record, and we would always put our record up a year before. So if we did a album that we done with and it's out, it comes out. Say for instance, right now it's 2021. It's March of 2021. We will put 2022 on there, bro, because the reason why this was our method, because we wanted whoever catch it 8 months later, because we knew it was gonna get 8 to 9, 10 months later. We knew it was gonna take forever to get to, you would say, Atlanta, Nebraska,
right?
Or you know, Texas or Canada, or Oklahoma, or wherever it's going to. We knew everything was snail mail back then,
right?
You know what I'm saying? We were sending it through UPS, ground package.
Right?
You know what I'm saying?
5 days, 7 days, yeah.
Exactly. So by the time everybody started getting hip to it, it was going to take that long. We was prepared for it, so we were smart like that. But my uncle, I tell you, so P, P was doing his thing too, but he was learning as he go, and he seen us getting down. We was having a lot of success, and and P was working hard. Like everybody rocked with him, but a lot of people didn't because there was so many great rappers in the Bay Area.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And P was really spitting game. P really from the streets, not just New Orleans streets, Richmond streets, Bay Area streets. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And he wasn't no suck out here. You know what I'm saying? Nobody tried to play him or nothing like that. He was just a solid dude, and he had that motivation. God gifted him with that, and he went to St. Charles, and St. Charles said, "Here, this is what you do." He listened. Man, that man put his own brain together with how he wanted to work out his plan, getting the deep South, the sticks, to participate with him as well. He got all the West Coast cats together, did West Coast Bad Boy. He did his thing, bro. You know what I'm saying? And I salute him for that. And my Uncle St. Charles, I really salute him because me and D-Shot, we was talking the other day. My brother, we were just talking about it the other day. Like, man, that dude really taught us a lot. Like how to become men, like get bank accounts and stuff like that. Like, you know what I mean? Like really, fictitious names and DBAs and get business licenses and like taught us a lot. You know what I'm saying? He taught us how to be entrepreneurs. And I'm glad that I cherish him to this day. I give him his roses. He pick up the phone anytime. And that's my mama brother.
P said that the one thing that you taught that St. Charles taught him is about distributor is banking on yourself. He always say the Bay, they push independence. And the things P said that he thought, and you can correct me if I'm wrong, he says he believed independence teaches you hunger. He says because it's only gonna go as far as you take it. He says sometimes guys, teams want to do these 360, then you get the big money up front and all that, but you get lazy because you got them doing the work. But now, when the thing is like when you gonna eat, but they gonna eat every time you eat, as opposed to the independents, you eating the lion's share. They gonna eat what you leave, not eat before you do.
You know it, bro. And he telling the truth because, it's people, no disrespect to nobody, but it's people that have been on major labels for many years and they kind of, you know what I'm saying? I ain't gonna say got babysitted, but they don't know no other way when it comes to like once their deal is over or whatever, they don't know the other way because they never been independent. They never knew how we had to do it. We come in the game, we was in it by force, not by choice. Right. But it's good. That force was good. We had to go get it on our own. And being independent, it was beautiful. It was a blessing in disguise. You feel what I'm saying?
Right.
So, that made us be better hustlers, better men, and appreciate it more. Like right now, I'm gonna be honest with you, and I'm not trying to, plug anything, but I'm just telling you the truth. What I'm doing right now is just say, okay, the streets, when I rap, right? When I came into the rap, I'll say, it's the same hustle, just different product.
Right.
This liquor right here, same hustle, different product. I sell adult beverages, bro, and I'm doing it independently. I'm doing it the long way, but it's the right way. So at the end of the day, I'm gonna get the last laugh, God willing. First of all, the thing is, I'm doing it independently. So each state requires different credentials and different things you got to do to get your license. Some states are controlled. Some states are, some states are easier to get.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So it's like, this is what I'm doing. So God willing, so within the next 12 months, I'm gonna most likely be in about 37 states, being the vendor of record, my own boss. No, nothing. You feel what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. Nobody to answer to. I sign the checks. I call the shots, everything. It's the long way, but it's the right way. And that's what P did independently. That's what we did independently. Sick Wid It Records, No Limit, Swab House, so on and so forth. Rap a lot. So many, Luke Skywalker, them, you know what I'm saying? The whole shit. Like, we can go on and on forever,
You've been able to have a hit in every decade. Rapper's Ball, Tell Me Where to Go, Sprinkle Me, Captain Saberho, Choices. How do you enjoy the longevity that you've enjoyed?
Man, I love it, bro. I thank God for everything. And, like I say, I figure, you just keep the faith, be a good person, keep your eye on the ball. I love rapping. Even if, I'm an old man, to some, I'm an old man now, but I'm not though. You know what I'm saying? My spirit, like you wouldn't, if I didn't tell you my age, you probably wouldn't know. You probably know I'm probably a good 42 and you know, probably 40, you know, and if you looked at it and I didn't tell you, you'll never know I'm really, my spirit and my charisma and the way I carry myself ain't no regular 53-year-old cat, bro.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? That's all I'm saying. Like, and I'm not trying to be young. This is me. I promised myself when I was young that when I get older, I'm not finna be dressed hella ancient and all that old bullshit, man. I mean,
right.
It's a new,
you ain't gonna rock the Stacey Adams with the real socks.
I'm not, they gotta be clean. The jeans gotta be a little, you know, slimmer at the bottom. They can't be all flared out. Can't wear no big breeches. Them ain't in right now. You can look fly. I see some motherfuckers that was fly the other day. Snoop posting them. Some OGs, they had the gray beards, but them niggas, their outfit was clean. They had their jeans was at the bottom. The jeans wasn't all flared out. They was, you know, they was fitted. They had some dress shoes on. Them niggas was fly as fuck. You know what I'm saying? And that's how you gotta be if you're gonna do it. You feel me?
Well, you got some of the Bay Area words. I mean, you feel me, you smell me, for shizzy, for show, gas. How do you come up with these words? And then when you come up with them, you like, because people still use them. People talk like that. So at the time that you're coming up with those words, do you think they're gonna have the longevity that they're gonna have?
Oh, I don't know. You know, just me, you know, one thing about being from the Bay Area, it's a beautiful thing because you're surrounded by gang. Look how I just put that together. Being from the Bay, it's a beautiful thing because you're surrounded by gang. Right. You feel me?
Yeah.
And that's, you know, and you got so much, you have so many people. I like to rock with the OGs, the older guys.
Right.
Because they done been through it, they done seen it. You know what I'm saying? They done did it, they done been around it, and they can wake your game up way more. Like the OG, like the young generation, a lot of them don't mind listening to me when I talk to them.
Right.
They'll be like, you know, good, thanks, Unc, I appreciate that. That made my day right there. Thank you. You know, the ones who want to be silent and listen to it, they listen. So being in the Bay, I learned, you know, and me being creative, coming with stuff, you know, just coming with slang and all that, since I was a little youngster, you know what I'm saying? I used to read the dictionary and I'd come with long words and all that stuff. A lot of these words and stuff I say, you know what I'm saying? A lot of that shit, man, is really just from observing and observing the older guys and then putting
your flavor to it.
My way to it.
Somebody else cooking, but you add your flavor.
Right, like, but a lot of words just come from my brain right off top. I'm liable to, before we finish, I might come with a fresh one out of nowhere. Like, I don't see that?
Yeah.
See that? Not nowhere, but nowhere. Out of nowhere. He just came out of nowhere with that. You feel me?
Right. I mean, because you were the first one I heard when they start, and people say, oh, man, that thing slap. You were the first one I ever heard use that word when it's talking about something is good.
First rapper ever screaming slap. Ever in life. Whenever you say, oh, that's slap, oh, that's slapping. First rapper ever said that.
That's you.
Rapper. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. And there's so many other ones, you know, and I trip on, you know, I see some cats arguing over the word broccoli the other day. Broccoli, what? You know, calling weed broccoli. And it was like, they was crediting other rappers. I'm like, that's okay. They don't know. You know what I'm saying? That's okay. Cause the kids, I'll be like, I just know that some people wasn't even born when I had the song, I had a song out called Broccoli in like 1999, 98. It was actually called Broccoli. Smoking that broccoli now, it takes me out. Right. You know what I'm saying? That's how the hook went. We used a cameo slap. I had Otis and Suge singing on that thing, and the song is called Broccoli, and it was on my double album, which is almost platinum right now, way past gold. And the album was called Element of Surprise. First rapper talking about apply pressure. Surprise, the element, apply pressure. Tycoon, 1995, the intro to a platinum album in a major way. What's happening, folks? It ain't nothing but me, your Tycoon talking partner, player partner, E-40. I said Tycoon talking partner. Rewind it when y'all get a chance. 1995, I was screaming that shit, as a rapper. No other rapper was screaming. And before that, I said it. And my brother and them said it. And everybody that was with us screamed it on their albums. So it's like, I didn't make up the word tycoon. It's in the dictionary. But I'm talking about shit that rappers don't say that became very popular. And I was the first one screaming it. And we go on and on forever. You know what I'm saying? Choppers, calling pistols choppers.
Right.
First one talking about choppers. First rapper ever talking about choppers, triple beam scales, everything related to the soil. Trust me. Yola, units, calling keys units. You feel me?
Yeah.
Man, I ain't putting extras on it. This ain't no cap. This ain't new era. This no cap, bro. This ain't Michelin S. No cap, bro. For real. This is fact. You know what I'm saying?
Let's talk about something I know you really, really love. And you was rocking with this team when it wasn't popular. Your Golden State Warriors. I see you sitting courtside a lot. What did it feel like when you guys finally won the championship in 2015? Because I know that was a long time coming. Because there were some lean years in there, 40.
When I was watching Matt Barnes and Steven and who else was it? Matt Barnes, Steven.
Baron Davis.
Baron, BD. When I was watching it, I was like, oh man, we might get one. They're out there playing that street ball on them. Because these, to me, them dudes are street cats in the NBA. Yeah. I love them dudes. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, yeah, we finna get one. So I, even before that, I love the Warriors, of course, but I'm like, we getting closer. And I just used to hate when the powers that be over the Warriors would always, once we get a good player, they'd trade them or something, or they'd go somewhere else. I was like, oh man, damn. So now that we got our new powers that be in there, I love them. They doing what they can do, and we've been to that thing for the last 5 years when they went was some of the best times of so many people's lives from the Bay Area. Just being there, whether you in the nosebleeds, whether you in between, whether you courtside, it was just so just great. I mean, 5 times in a row, bro, and they won 3 out of them things. You feel me? And being courtside, ain't nothing like courtside experience. You rubbing shoulders with the big willies in order to get. And that's another thing. You networking. I done met so many people there that I've had opportunities to break bread with just from being there and being a good person, not being fake, just being a good person, being a people's person, hobnobbing, shaking hands, kissing babies, hugging folks, networking. You know what I'm saying? Stuff like that. And just being a good dude will get you a long ways. And that's what I did. And ain't no experience like courtside when you can be still. I sat right by the bench. It's times I sat several times. I sat right like I'm part of the bench, like I'm on the team. In my mind, I'm an NBA player too.
Okay, you're a Warriors fan, you're a Warriors fanatic, and you know all the players. Give me your Mount Rushmore players. Wilt, Rick Barrett, Steph, BD, Klay Thompson, KD, Chris Mullin, Nate Thurman, Draymond Green. Give me your Mount Rushmore, your 4 best players in Warriors history.
Okay, I would have to say Rick Barry.
Okay.
I would have to say Steph, of course.
Yep.
I would have to say Klay.
Okay.
I would definitely have to, that's a trip. And ain't because I would also have to say Wilt Chamberlain for sure.
I was wondering if you could leave Wilt off this thing.
I can't do that. That's impossible to do. I would have to say, how many I said?
That's it. You only get 4.
How many would I say? What all I said?
You got Wilt, you got Klay, Steph, you got Klay, and you got Rick Barry.
That's not bad.
That's not bad.
That's not bad. It's plenty more, but that's not bad at all. I remember they had Robert Parrish, and I was mad when they traded him, and he became a Hall of Famer. He went over to
Boston,
the Green Team. Yeah,
Boston.
Exactly. I was like, man, he became a Hall of Famer, man.
Yeah,
Robert Parrish. Like, I just hate when they used to trade all the good players like that so quick, But now they got new ownership and everything is much better. We just have a lot of injuries. That's all that's been messing us up.
When you sit courtside, are you doing a Drake? Are you trash talking, or are you just sitting watching the game? Because Drake be on courtside, and Drake be talking trash, be talking crazy, be getting involved.
I only talk big Bronco when it's like a Drake, a Travis Scott, or somebody like that that's there, and they team is playing us, that's when I talk big shit to them. Like, yeah, what's happening? Yeah, I'm. Oh man, one thing, I'm a master at getting in that head. You know what I'm saying? Picking. You know,
right. But you don't talk to the players. You don't talk to the opposing team players.
Oh no. I leave them because I like them. I like a lot of them. I would say a couple things to them, but not like I shake their hand at the end like LeBron. I love LeBron.
Right.
I try to, because he a killer on the court. He just, he's so dope. Like he one of the greatest, if not. You know what I'm saying? So it's like I kind of like, brother, you finna miss that. He'd be on the, shooting and stuff like that. But I love dude, man. And when people like that come off the court, I shake their hand, and shit like that. Like I was talking to, it was one of them games. What's the boy? What's the boy that play with Durant now?
Kyrie or James Harden?
Yeah. I say, man, I seen him after one of them basketball games, man. And we was in like the hallway at when we played I think we played Cleveland, and I think I was in Cleveland or something, or either it was somewhere we was at. It was a finals though.
Yeah.
And they got us. It was a game that they played that I say, man, I ain't gonna even lie. He was just sitting there just chilling, and I'm like, I say, man, I ain't gonna even lie, man. You dope as fuck, bro. You know what I'm saying? I can't big ass hug and shit, man. I ain't gonna lie, you dope as fuck, bro. You know what I'm saying? Like, you just got to give it up to certain people because, ain't no need to be mad at other teams and other players.
Right.
When you got to realize that all these dudes kick it together. They vacation together and everything. They friends. When I played baseball and football, we would be enemies on the court or when we'd be enemies on the out in the baseball diamond,
right,
or on the football field, but when we get off of that thing, we finna go eat some pizza or something together.
Right.
Two separate teams, the opposite team. You know what I'm saying? So all these cats, they all cool with each other and everything. No matter how aggressive they look on the court, like they don't like each other, everybody be vacationing and everything together, man. They all in contact.
Raiders or 49ers?
I would say 49ers, although I never said anything ever bad about the Raiders. I'm from Vallejo. I'm not from Oakland. I'm not from San Francisco. You know what I'm saying? I'm 30 minutes from Oakland and like 50 minutes from Frisco, but I am Northern California, Bay Area.
So you got to be neutral.
Well, I tried to, and then all my cousins and everybody, I tried to like the Raiders and the 49ers because I grew up on Dave Casper, Jim Plunkett. I grew up on Jerry Rice and Joe Montana, Steve Young and them, Merton Hanks and them. I had neighbors that stayed in my neighborhood. I had R.I.P. Chester McGlockton. I had Daryl Russell. Daryl Russell stayed in my neighborhood, like literally walking distance around the corner. They all stayed in my neighborhood. I had Dana Stubblefield stayed 4 houses down from me. I had Merton Hanks stay. These 49ers and Ricky Waters. I had all of them. So I would go. Sometime they would invite me to the game. So I'd go to a Raider game and I would go, but I would have my main team 49ers. So I have 49er gear on. You know what I'm saying? That's when people wasn't really tripping. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, I don't have nothing against the Raiders, and no one ever on the internet can ever say that I said, fuck the Raiders, this, that, and the third, no matter how bad they say it about me. They want me to be a Raider fan, but I had to pick a side a long time ago because my cousin and all the Raider fans, Rick Rock and all them cats, they was like, you got to pick a side. And I was like, I want to roll with the whole Bay Area package. They was like, this is 20 years ago. They said, you got to pick a side. I say, man, all right, fuck y'all then. I'm going 49ers for life.
Hey, I want to get you out of your different party. Let me ask you a question. Yeah. I need your Mount Rushmore rappers all overall and your Mount Rushmore Cali rappers.
I like that.
So I want the 4 greatest rappers. East Coast, West Coast, South, I don't care. I need 4.
Okay. All right. Wow.
Yeah.
All right. You want me to go with the 4 greatest?
The 4 greatest. I want 40s, 4 greatest rappers.
I switch it up every time somebody asks me. Is that okay? Because this just happens like that.
We do what you do.
Okay. Okay. Tupac, of course. And I can't say me, right? No me.
You can say you if you want to.
Okay. See, because I'm in a whole nother category. I'm not a lyricist. I'm a gang spitter.
Right.
You feel me? But although I can bust, although I can be a lyricist, because I got bars.
Right.
I ain't even took the bar exam. I still got bars though. You feel me? But anyway, I would say Tupac, of course.
Okay. That's one. Got 3 more spots.
I gotta say Ice Cube, man. I just have to, because man, people, no matter how much he rap nowadays or whatever, he did enough in a few years that he got down that you gotta remember he used to write for NWA. So just imagine all that shit, all that gas he had. You feel me?
Yeah.
And so it's like I would have to say Ice Cube. And I'm gonna leave me out of this because I just want to be fair. Even though I feel like I'm the greatest of all of them.
Right.
And, you know what I'm saying? But I'm gonna leave it out because I want it to be a good thing. So and this ain't I'm not taking no favoritism, and I'm just talking about the people. Let me see. I would say Tupac, Ice Cube. I would say, and I'm not saying this just because everybody else say it, because I'm a real motherfucker. The reason I'm gonna say Jigga is because if he did a versus right now, everybody be like, man, okay, I forgot that motherfucker had that song right there. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, damn, I didn't know he had. I forgot. Because people get amnesia. They don't know. First of all, it ain't even just lyrics. And it ain't, platinum and gold albums. It ain't that. It's what you doing outside of the vocal booth as well.
Right.
Just skipping over real quick. That's why I consider Muhammad Ali the greatest boxer of all times, because of what he did outside his contributions to our culture and everything like that there. You feel what I'm saying?
Right.
So anyway, with Jigga, it's just the innovation, the things, the inspiration, the things that he's doing. He's took hip hop to another page. You got to put him in there.
Right.
You got to. You know.
So you got Tupac, you got Ice Cube, you got Jay.
Yep.
Got one more.
I got one more. To be the greatest of all time.
Yep.
Man, that's a hard one. That's a super hard one, man. That is super hard because there's so many I want to say. But I look at
it. Somebody got to get left. Look here. You didn't bring all your friends with you. You had to leave some of them. So you got to leave somebody off, 40.
I want, 4. Why am I? It'd be tripping me out because they say Mount Rushmore should be 5 people on it. It doesn't seem like it should be 5.
They not adding another head. You're not going to South Dakota and getting another head on that mountain.
They're not doing it. Oh man. Oh. I can't, and I don't want to base this on who I grew up on, because I grew up on a lot of people that I love and feel like they definitely top 10. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
But I gotta keep it 1,000. Wow. I gotta say, could I base this on what you did in your early days and what you're doing now, as far as other shit too?
You can base it on whatever you want. This is 40's list. This is not my list. This is not anybody else. And if you want to debate, go debate your cousin in the barbershop. But this 40's list.
I got a tie.
Okay, who you got?
I'll say Snoop Dogg and Biggie.
Okay.
I'm leaning towards Snoop because of, now don't get it fucked up. If Biggie was still living, I really think that if Biggie had more albums, because he was dope as fuck. And you knew the potential. You know what I'm saying? If he was still living and had more albums, I can base it up on more. Snoop got longevity. Snoop is a walking icon. Snoop is he got his hands all over the place like space. You know what I'm saying? He's still here. You know what I mean? I have to say Snoop on that, but don't get it fucked up. Biggie top 10 for sure. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
I love Nas as well. You know what I'm saying? But now we get into the top 10s and shit. Like, you know what I'm saying? You said 4. So I would have to say, besides me, you know what I'm saying? I'm not in it. I took myself out of this.
Right.
I would have to say
Pop. You got Pop, you got Cube, you got Hove, and you got Snoop.
Yep.
All right, give me Cali rappers. I need 4 Cali rappers.
E-40, Too Short, Ice Cube, and Snoop.
That's it.
That's it. That's Mount Rushmore. That's Mount Rushmore of the West Coast. Period. Sorry.
Well, a couple of more things, 40. I've asked if they were alive, versus battle. Prince, Michael Jackson, versus battle.
Michael Jackson.
Whew. Mariah Carey.
If fans are bust. Y'all know that. It's Michael, bro.
I don't know, man. Prince start playing that guitar. He get on that piano.
Mike start dancing. Mike start dancing and hitting that hee. He hit the
Prince get up there. He start hitting at a door. He start when doves cry. Oh man,
hey. Mike come out there and get to playing that Billie Jean and all that shit, boy. And some of the Jackson slaps. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
come on.
The Jackson 5.
Jackson 5.
Mariah Carey, Whitney Houston.
Woo, that's a tough one. I'm gonna say the most effective to me. The greatest love of all. Man, Whitney Houston music will make you cry, bro.
Yeah.
Seriously. And then you get to thinking about all the stuff she went through and how she's not here no more. Whitney Houston, bro. I'll just keep it at 1,000.
Okay, versus battle. Hove, Drake.
Oh, that's a real tough.
Oh, yeah. Now come on with it. Come on with it now.
Because, you know, Drake did in so little time what most do in a lifetime.
Yeah.
Did I put that together? I didn't even try that. See how they did that? Oh, my God. That's a tie.
You can't have no versus battle. You can't have no tie, no versus battle, phony.
Yes, you can. Me and Too Short was a tie, right? The Bay won that.
Hey, you and Too Short was collabing. How you gonna be joining in on his song?
See, this is the thing with Jigga. It's tricky. That's what I'm saying. Because really, I remember I was on the soundtrack with him. It was called Sprung soundtrack. Jay Brown got me on that soundtrack, and Jigga was on there as well with me. And it was 1996. And I remember, I remember watching Jigga.
That was with Tommy Davidson and Jamie Foxx, right?
I believe so. Yep. That soundtrack, I believe that went gold. I think I got a gold record in my hallway along with Booty Call and a whole bunch of other soundtracks back in them days. You know what I'm saying? But I just knew Jigga. I gotta say, I realized that the man put in a lot of. See, what it is that dude. They start accepting hood shit on the radio when he came in.
Right.
And I ain't trying to shine a light back on me, but a lot of my ghetto anthems that people love, they wouldn't play it on the radio back then. They'd be right. They'd try to categorize my shit as a local, not global. You know what I'm saying? That's how they did me. It was a fucked up. Like I say, I'm older and wiser. I can hold a grudge against a whole bunch of motherfuckers how they used to do us on radio and how the Bay Area used to get done. But anyway, let's get back to Jigga. Jigga really got a body of music, man. A long list of his catalog is longer than Train Smoke, man. People don't realize that.
Right.
And it was big records that, even his Soil shit was able to be played on the radio. And when you got all that, and then you got, that machine behind you as well, and he don't get it fucked up. He started off, independent. I think he was with Priority Records on this first one, Reasonable Doubt, and the whole woo-wop, and he started off back with Jazzo. I remember that. He used to be in the videos, because I remember when he came back and resurfaced in the like 89, 90, he used to be with Jazzo, somewhere around there. I see him there. I'm like, man, this dude look hella familiar. So he started 93. I think he came with his one song, and they was like, man, all my guys were like, man, dude got a little bit of game about himself. Like he kind of woke and shit. You know what I'm saying? We Bay niggas, so we look at who kind of laced up, who gamed up. You feel me?
Right.
Like, okay, you know what I'm saying? We felt the same way about Biggie too. You know what I'm saying? Right. Like these niggas is different. Them niggas gamed up, And so anyway, make a long story short and a short story long, I just think that Drake, and so little time he did a lifetime of work, and that's gonna be heavy, man. But I really think that Jigga will win because Drake is a trip because Drake got slaps that was for the broads, but the dudes will love it too. And then he got that hip hop shit too. Like Drake can rap. I fuck with Drake heavy. That'll be a good versus. I would love to see that versus. Everybody would. That'll break the fucking internet.
Lil Kim or Nicki Minaj?
Damn. I just wish. I love Lil Kim. You know, every time I ever met her, she was always sweet, always cool. I loved her music, especially in the earlier days. I just haven't heard any new stuff lately. Right. You know, I kind of look at, you know, sometimes I've been around youngsters, and some of the youngsters, they say, you know, you keep it going, man. But, you know, a lot of the OGs, they be trying to get at me and be like, man, y'all don't understand how we used to do it back then. And they was like, man, the youngsters would tell me, I tell them, man, it ain't about what you used to do, it's what you're doing now. And you keeping it going. You feel me? So it's about what you're doing now too as well. I'm not saying Lil Kim ain't doing them, but Nicki Minaj is more on the gas. Like she's continuously putting out music and content like that. You know what I'm saying? And I respect them both. And but I think on that one right now, like in 2021, I think Nicki would win.
Last, producers or producers. Dr. Dre, Quincy Jones.
Oh man, why you gotta do that? That's crazy. That's crazy. Oh my God, that's a heavy one. You deep for asking that. You hella deep for asking that one right there, Brody. I would have to say,
cause you know Quincy go back with Ray Charles and Frank Sinatra.
I love Dre. Only reason I would say Quincy, but Dre did a lot too. But
you know Quincy got that Michael Jackson.
There's too many different categories. Like Dre is more urban hip hop, but Quincy is urban hip hop too. Urban because Quincy, people don't know he did Sanford and Son.
Yeah,
he produced Sanford and Son.
Yeah,
and many more. Just when I listen to that, I'm like, who thinks of something like that? Who thinks to make a song with all of them? I don't even know what kind of what he used to make that shit. Like, how do you do that, bro? You know, so I'm like, I would say, I love you, Dre, but Quincy.
Yeah,
because of what he's done. If you look at his body of work, it's twice.
Yeah, nobody can touch Quincy. Nobody can touch Quincy because, like you said, Quincy goes back 50 years, and he goes from Sinatra to Ray Charles to, you know, he did Barry White, he did Michael Jackson, he did so many.
But if it came to hip hop,
ain't nobody. I mean, what? Maybe Jimmy Jam and Terry Lewis, comparable.
When it come to hip hop, can't nobody fuck with Dr. Dre.
Oh yeah. No. Not with the Snoop and the Tupac, his own album. Kanye, Eminem, nah.
Not with his body of work. Not with his long list of Train Smoke. His shit go longer than Train Smoke. Talk to me, baby boy.
You know, I appreciate this, bro. We gonna have this thing gonna be out. It's gonna be hot. I appreciate the time, and like I said, bro, I know you 25 years, so you've always given me love. So I appreciate the support. Continued success in the Tycoon, Slurricane, Goon with the Spoons, the Noodles, bro. I appreciate everything.
Let's go, baby. I love you, baby.
Appreciate it.
All my life, been grinding all my life. Sacrifice, hustle, pay the price. Want a slice, got to roll the dice. That's why all my life, I've been grinding all my life. Look, all my life, been grinding all my life. Sacrifice, hustle, pay the price. Want a slice, got to roll the dice. That's why all my life, I've been grinding all my life.
You know what to do. Hit the subscribe button to become an official member of Club Shay Shay, where we always do something for two something.